All right. Episode 2 of the Acolyte. We're doing this. It's still happening. So let's keep going.
Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways.
May, fresh from her successful kill on Master Andara in episode 1, has decided to seek down her next target. But she sneaks into this Jedi temple, and then she finds him alone in a room, levitating. He's got his eyes closed. He's basically seems to be ignoring her. And she's like, "We have unfinished business. Attack me with all your strength." Let me just say, I don't know what it is about her delivery of that line. Or maybe it's just the line, or maybe it's the pose. But every time she goes, "Attack me with all your strength," I die a little inside. That is just about the worst thing. It's the worst thing I've ever seen. I don't even know, practically speaking, does she think that will work? The only reason Andara engages with her is because she's trying to disarm her after she goes on this rampage, beating up all of her bar friends. Anyways, very quickly she figures out, oh, not only is he levitating and ignoring me, he's got some kind of force field around himself. Force field, literally. So there's this, comically, she's just like trying everything she can. She thinks if she approaches it from a different angle, maybe she can penetrate that force field, but nothing works. I don't know if he doesn't know she's there or he's just ignoring her. And then you get into the practical implications of all this. It's like, what has he been doing all this time? And if he's been in this levitating state, which I think they say at some point, I can't remember where they say it in the episode, he's been like this for years. When does he take a break? When does he use the bathroom? When does he sleep? Is he sleeping right now? If he has to stop at some point so that he can eat or sleep or poop, then that would be the opportune time to attack, don't you think? So she just waited. Who wants to wait for a guy until he has to go to the bathroom? I mean, for me, you don't have to wait very long. So then we jump back to the classically charming Osha. She wakes up in the Jedi's ship and she meets Jecki. Jecki, as it turns out, is actually one of the few things about this show that works, and I don't really know what it is. Osha's like, "I'm a mechanic." Jecki, she's like, "Oh, that's dangerous. I thought only all 2 droids did that sort of work." And then she's like, "But I'm better company than a droid. I'm way more flexible." I don't think that people hire people to repair things on the outside of a ship because they're better company. Like, you're not there for socializing, you're there to fix something. We get a little bit of a back and forth between Yord and Saul, and I have to say, this is one of those strange things about the show that I don't think, it doesn't add up. What you have here is essentially Yord is super cautious about Osha, doesn't want to bring her along, doesn't want to involve her any further with his investigation. But Master Saul, who was her master, her teacher, insists that it's okay, it'll be all right, and the Jedi agree with me. Yeah, it's strange to me. It seems like Yord should probably listen to the guy that trained Osha, and I don't understand. It's like within the first 10 seconds of Yord reuniting with Osha in the first episode, he shows a lot of like mistrust in her, and he's so suspicious of her, and it doesn't make any sense because, like, first of all, he knows her and she's not giving there's no evidence or anything that she's done anything wrong. She has a fairly good alibi up until this point, and yet he's the most suspicious of her. That doesn't make any sense. So I call into question the writing here in this particular instance. Okay. Then we jump back to May. So May finds this guy that's like her assistant or something in this shop. He's sleeping in the back. He gets up. He's kind of quirky acting and silly and timid. And he's wearing the shirt so he can blend in. And he took it off the guy that he took the store from. So he killed the guy that owns the store, but then he just wears his shirt so that he'll blend in, I guess, so that he'll dress like the locals dress. Not exactly the greatest form of blending in. I mean, somebody's gonna find him. The fact that he did this, it flies in the face of this idea that, like, oh, he only kills Jedi who threatens his existence. Okay, so what was the shopkeeper all about? That was just some innocent dude that you murdered. Like, no, dude. This is why I hate the Kylo Ren and Kamir comparisons, okay? Kylo Ren would just never sneak in and kill some poor innocent guy in a store and then just so he could blend in. And this is where I started to take May a little less seriously because she sounds a little too youthful. You know, she doesn't sound like a trained assassin. And she's like, I got this close and I couldn't do anything. I couldn't land a single hit. What? I don't understand. I don't understand what happened. So she decides that she needs to develop a poison to get rid of Torben. I'm thinking to myself, how are you going to deliver it? Surely there's no way to give him a poison like when he's in that state. I mean, you can't just like run up and just force it down his throat. That's not going to work. Turns out it's barely an inconvenience, as Ryan George would say. She's just gonna give it to him and he's gonna take it willingly. And so May tasks him to develop a poison and he decides that he needs a drink and he starts monologuing about the Jedi and how they justify their galactic dominance in the name of peace. And let me just say, the Jedi are peacekeepers in the galaxy. At this point, they are not a military force. They go in, they settle disputes, but they are backed by the Republic. The Republic does dictate ultimately what they get to do. They're like an extension of the Republic. Now, later, you know, there's moments where like they don't always act in the best interest of the Republic. They don't always tell the Republic, the Senate, what's going on. I'm not saying they even have to, but again, this is the framing of the Jedi as though they're some kind of oppressive regime in the galaxy, and they're all lying to themselves, like as if they don't actually have peace. And then conveniently, May decides to take the poison back, gets back into the Jedi Temple unhindered, presents Master Torben with a choice to either confess his crimes to the Jedi Council or receive forgiveness from her right there and then. Resolution, absolution, whatever you want to call it, basically, if he takes the poison and kills himself. Now, in the context of the entire series, which at this point I've seen the whole series because I'm backtracking and doing this recording late. Okay, what did Master Torben do that was so terrible? What was his crime? And when we finally get to episode 7, it shows, you know, everything that Master Torben said and did, all of his motivations, and any possible hint or reason that May could have for wanting to kill him. It makes no sense. Didn't do anything wrong. He had like absolutely nothing to do with what happened with the witches and Osha's seeming death, like May thinking that Osha's dead. Because let's remember that was May. May is the one who started the fire. May started the fire. Yeah, May started the fire. And the witches tried to kill Torben with all their little arrows. And so he goes into defensive mode. Of all the people, of all the Jedi that deserve any kind of retribution or punishment, he's the least deserving. Master Torben is the least deserving. Even if his desire to go back to Coruscant was childish or illogical, because again, there's not really a good reason. We're not really given a good reason. He's homesick. I mean, he says in this moment, as he's about to kill himself, we thought we were doing the right thing. You were, dude. You know, his death, it's not even tragic. It's just stupid. And I didn't even know the Jedi would do this. A Jedi would actually commit suicide? We're really going there? We're actually going there. How very modern of you. This scene made me hate May more and feel bad for Torben, but also feel like Torben's stupid. They find Master Torben dead, and Osha almost accidentally makes herself look like the killer. I know, so wise, Osha. But Yord actually does a good thing for once and admits that there's clearly not her. He's watching her. So then they figure out that there's a nearby accomplice and they have to track him down. And they go along with Jacky's brilliant plan, because once again, she's the smartest of them all. No, I'm just kidding. I actually like Jackie. It is kind of funny, though, that she seems to seriously be the smartest of them all. So they decide to go in and have Osha impersonate May. And this goes so well. I mean, she just does a phenomenal job. She really embodies May. It's phenomenal. Anyway, the jig is up pretty quickly. Kamir figures out that, oh, it's May's twin sister. The Jedi come in quickly to her aid and is afraid that Kamir will try to kill her. And he doesn't. He's actually on the defensive very quickly. He's like, whoa, hold on, hold up, wait a minute. No need to use force. Wiggles his way out of this scenario. They leave him alone. He gives them all the information they need. Eventually, they devise a plan to capture May. They find her. They get ready to confront her. Saul confronts her. They have a little back and forth. Saul is clearly superior in combat. May tries to pull the same move on Saul that she did on Indara. And Saul reveals in that moment that Osha's alive. May thinks that she's been dead this whole time, but Osha is definitely alive. Calls him a liar in response and freaks out. Can't believe it. Then she manages to escape. And then when Osha finally finds her, she intentionally misses because she starts feeling sentimental about seeing her sister. And to be fair, that would be a pretty shocking moment. I mean, it would throw you off. It would throw both of them off probably. But when you get into like the greater context of the overall story, and especially what happens in the next episode, in episode 7, and you kind of learn their relationship, I mean, it's kind of ridiculous that she got away. I mean, at one point, Master Saul just has her in the air, levitating, like holding her with the force. He's trying to read her mind, and she manages to break free from that. But he's clearly got the upper hand. Like, he really clearly had the upper hand and could have like disarmed her and captured her right there and then and held her. Like, if everybody else came in and helped out, like if Yord came in and helped out, she would have been done. I mean, the show would have been basically over right there. Star Wars is known for having ridiculous escapes. Probably the worst offender is the Kenobi show. I don't know if you've seen that show, but my goodness, that is the most cartoony, ridiculous escape that I've ever seen with a character. I mean, literally hiding someone in your coat jacket. Anyways, this episode did not do the show any favors. As I watched it, even though, you know, the fight scene was a little interesting. All right. The choreography was a little all over the place because like May, she really likes to do, she loves her jumps, her unnecessary jumps. There's really, again, there's nothing redeeming in this episode that makes it just worthwhile. There's nothing of merit here. You know, the big moment of Master Torben is so bizarre. It's so out of left field. It's like, oh, okay. You'll kill yourself? You do that for me? Wow. This is so easy. Yeah, this show is exhausting to get through, guys. And now having seen it and now going back and rewatching it to do the reviews, it's not gotten any better. Anyways, no, we're not giving this the John Hand signature of approval. That's it. That's all I got, guys. It's a bad episode and it's a trend. And here we go. So anyways, the next episode, we'll dig into episode 3. All right, that's all I got. See y'all later. Bye.